Well, it's that time of year again. The dreaded trip from the marina to where we store our boats in the winter time. So, yeah, season has come to an end, and I need to bring the boat to the marina where I store it high and dry over the winter. So that's going to be picked up. The crane comes Saturday morning, so I need to be in place by Thursday perhaps, so I can rig up my cradle and get everything organized in time for the big hoist. So yeah, a short season, a lot of bad weather, and yeah, we didn't get too much sailing done this year, that is for sure, but there's always next year, and there's always projects to do in the winter time on the boat. So yeah, I guess it's all good, but yeah, I would like to be able to do some more sailing, but this is it for this year. I have a few days to do this trip, so I'm gonna take my time and sail the boat to that area or that marina, and I'm gonna enjoy this trip as much as I can. Unfortunately, the weather is not looking too good. It's better than I had expected today. That's perfect, and yeah, it's just a matter of enjoying this last sail. A little wind as well, but that has improved as well on the forecast, so perhaps we'll get some. We will see. I'll give you an update later on when I've gotten a bit further ahead. We have reached the area where the wind is always twisting and swirling around in between some mountains. Usually I try to motor to past this point, but this is the last trip, last chance for sailing, so I was not going to motor today. We are having a rain shower. We had a couple of lighter ones. Now it's this is the longest one we've had. We were supposed to have steady rain all day today, so I'm not complaining if I'm just getting some showers. The weather was forecasted to be a bit cold and very rainy, and you can see I have not shaved for a month just to save up some insulation to stay warm during this sail. My wife is not too happy about that, but yeah, I'm the one who's getting cold, so yeah, that's the way it is. The winds are really light. I guess I think the maximum speed we've done so far is about 3 knots, so it's not very hectic. When the rain started, I went below and I brewed some coffee, so I'm enjoying that now. And yeah, I did have the wind behind me. Now I'm sailing into the wind, so I needed to sheet in the sails a little. It's not pretty at the moment, but we are still gliding along, and when the rain stops, I'm going to attend to the sails a little bit more. So we'll see. We are taking it easy today. It's just a matter of being on the boat and enjoying the sail. These are the islands that we anchored at in the last video I posted. Yeah, that was a slow weekend, messed up by the fog, but it was a nice little getaway. So yeah, now I've anchored at those islands as well. It gives you a kind of a better relation when you have stayed somewhere. You've been able to kind of take in the surroundings a bit more, so it's kind of a little bit like it's yours. So I guess that's stupid, but it feels a little bit more like kind of like home. So somewhere you treasure a little bit more than the rest. So I don't know. I'm still gliding towards Bergen. This headland sticking out there, that is Halhjem. Behind there, that's where all of the ferries come together at the ferry dock. And we have the wind from the wrong direction, but that's okay as long as we have wind. I'm not complaining. And it's quite far behind us now. Well, that's actually correct. It should have been on the other side of the boat, but who cares? So we will hopefully have wind all of the way up there. There's a little bit of chop. It's just like unorganized small waves coming in the opposite direction. It's no problem. It's just it kind of slows the boat down a little bit, but that's also no problem. We have really light winds, but we are moving, I guess 2 or 3 knots ish, so not complaining. It is not raining, and it looks lighter, so I guess it's gonna improve during the evening. So I'll see. I guess I will sail as long as I have wind. Daylight is gonna disappear in a few hours, so I guess I will have to make do without. It's gonna be a pitch black night, I guess, but we'll see. I'll always find an anchorage. So here is one ferry exiting the ferry terminal, and another one is arriving just in front of us. And in about 20 minutes time, this is going to happen once again. So let's hope I make it past there in 20 minutes, because I'm not really moving very fast. The winds are very light, and they're from quite far behind, but now I can alter my course a little bit, so that should help. So yeah, this is a rather tricky spot, but there is a little bit of sunlight getting through the cloud cover, and it's a nice evening. It is not quite as cold as I had imagined it would be, so, but also the weather has been quite a lot better than what I was told by the weather people. So yeah, I'm really happy about that, that's for sure. So now I'll alter my course a little bit, and there is also a fish farm in this direction here that I need to avoid, but I'm gonna go as close to it as I can. Our direction further is around that headland and further up towards Bergen. So I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but there is the ferry that just left There is the next maniac heading this way. Here is the ferry that just arrived, that's docked now. And then we have this crazy guy. This is a shuttle boat, and yeah, he's in a hurry. So I hope I just get by this entrance here in time. So it's a bit hectic around here. These guys, they really move, and the ferries as well, they're doing really high speeds. So you gotta keep your eyes open around here. So that boat is just a sightseeing boat actually. They just go rather quickly through the fjords. I guess that is a really good way to see a lot in a short period of time, which is mostly what tourists do, so good for them. So in there is the ferry. I just altered my course a little bit so I got a better angle to the wind to up my speed a little bit. So now I'm passing the entrance, but around this kind of island or something, I think it's an island, they're around that one, and they fall off a bit, so I'm not quite out of the woods yet, but I'm sure I'm gonna make it. So here comes the ferry around that little island there, and it's gonna pass behind us, so this looks good. But they're really moving when they get out of that little sound, so you have to be on your toes around here. See, now they're turning, and they're turning quite a steep turn at speed. You can really feel it when you're on board. So if you have not been here before and you get a bit too close to this opening and you don't have the full knowledge of these ferries, you're gonna get a surprise. See, it's turning quite far towards me here, but the outgoing ferry is on this side of the track, and the arriving ferry is a bit further down. So it's quite they're moving quickly, but I'm moving away from it now, so this is going to be good, but it's going to be close. It's quite cool. of the arriving one. And in the background there, you can see there is another ferry appearing, and that goes to the island over there at Våge, at Tustnesøy, and that also arrives at the same ferry dock, but it's a double dock, so there's space for two ferries, so it's quite hectic at times. We were lucky to arrive at a good interval for that ferry, so that's also a big bonus for today. So now we've got a close-up of these ferries. That is something that I try to avoid, but today it worked out nicely. Well, this was a surprise. When I came in here, I was looking for an anchoring spot, and the map said Skorpo Naturhavn. That means like a harbour for that's not connected to anything, but it's a park area. So I figured it's probably a room to anchor in there. So I readied the anchor and prepared for anchoring and got in there, and I thought this is really tight. And then I could see this dock, and yeah, I docked the boat here. Was really curious about the depth, but it's about 4.5 meters deep, perhaps 5 at some spots, so that's quite deep enough. So yeah, so I tied up the boat and went to bed. It was pitch black, so I didn't really see anything when I arrived. I just went over to this boat shed over here and looked at the poster on the wall, and it says it's free to use for boaters. You can stay one night for free. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. There's no electricity or anything, so yeah, but it is a place to tie up, and I imagine in the summertime this is packed. I've never heard of this place, but when I looked it up online, I could see this dock was packed with boats. So we are going to go through this cut that the freighter is entering now, and I'm expecting a bit of gusty winds. So I put first reef in the main, and I've actually rolled up the Genoa so that it is at the second reef point. But that's just to make the tacking easier, because it does not overlap the mast too much when it's like this. A little while back the wind picked up quite a bit, so I had a lot of wind, perfect for full sails, and I sailed with full sails at 6-7 knots, beating into the wind, and that was good, but I knew that I was entering this cut, so after I made my tack, I reefed down the sails, and I'm now entering this cut. I'm going to pass these islands, and the wind is due to change. I'm going to have following winds for about 2 hours according to the weather forecast, but I'm not sure, but it is wearing a little bit, so, or it's clocking over a bit, so I guess it's perhaps it's true, but I don't know. The terrain is too difficult to predict the winds, and so when I get past this cluster of islands, I'm in a more wide spot again, and then I'm gonna take the most inner route into Bergen, I believe. I'm not quite decided yet. I will have to see how long it takes, because if I get headwinds, it's perhaps a better option to go on the outer route. So we'll see when we get there. But yeah, as you can see behind me, the weather is quite grey. So now the weather that was forecasted has arrived for sure. So we'll see. Tomorrow is going to be just as miserable. The weather predictions for tomorrow is, yeah, it's not improved. So we'll see. And another issue is I'm going to have high winds where I'm going to dock the boat, and that's going to make docking difficult. So I'll maybe have to wait out until the evening to tie up the boat. We'll see what happens then. But that's all tomorrow. A lot of stuff can change in that time frame. So this is a busy shipping lane as well, this cut, so I need to keep my eyes peeled for ships. Yeah, we'll see. Luckily there is a bit of wind, so we're doing a okay speed and we can maneuver quite easily. So with the sail configuration as it is now, I'm doing about 4 knots, and yeah, that's okay. Later on we're going to have a bit of current, so I don't know if that's going to be with us or against us. It's impossible to say in these fjords. There's no maps that shows when the currents turn and so on that you have in more tidal affected areas in the world. So yeah, we have to just take it as it comes and make the most of it. So I guess it's not going to be at most perhaps 2 knots of current, not more than that. So it's not a big problem anyway, unless I sail slower than that. But you always have the engine in as a safety feature. But I need to focus on my sailing now and ready my next tack. We are in this little cut. Perhaps I'll have to make another set of tacks before I'm out, but maybe I'll make it on this one. It looks promising. I'm glad I reefed down. There is a bit of wind and it is very shifty, so that was a good call. And now it's just a matter of reaching the next open bit and see which side I will continue on, because there is also a cluster of islands in the middle of a wider gap of fjord. So yeah, we'll see. I'll just focus on the sailing now. So this is the cut right down here where we tacked our way through, and as we sailed away from it, I set the full main, and after I made my tack now, I'm also back to the full Genoa, because this is a more forgiving area. It's no chances of katabatic gusts or anything. This is a rather wide stretch, and I've decided on going on the inside route past these islands. I could also go on this outside route, but I think today this is the most favorable, but the winds could change any minute, so who knows. I think I will try out this one. I've never sailed that route before in this direction, so it's going to be interesting. Yeah, this is a rather nice area for sailing. It's open, it's wide, but it's a lot of shipping, so that's a bit of a bummer, but whatever. You have to just dodge the ships as they come. So yeah, good sailing now. It's nice to be back on full sails. I did have some gusts in that cut that really made me appreciate having less sail up, and also the tacking with the big Genoa. That's not favorable, so rolling it up to at least the second reef point, that's the easy thing to do when you get into all the tacking. So yeah, So now we'll just enjoy this little half an hour of good sailing with very little to do before we have to make another tack. So I'll give you an update along the way. So I didn't manage to sail through the cut. I came about halfway through, but then I was stuck. I could not make any more progress. And then the wind shifted a bit, so I would need to tack, and yeah, I was not going to do that in there. So I just started the motor and rolled up the head sail and motored out of there. And when we get around this little piece of this island here, we'll fall off our course, and I guess I'll just deploy the sails again. Then we will pass under the Sotra Bridge and turn to starboard and sail past Askøy. Ahead of us is the Askøy Bridge, and I'm so glad that is what's in front of me now, because that bridge behind there, oh, I have struggled to get to that bridge. For those who are interested, check out the video link in the description, where I talk you through my sailing and on the map, and shows you all of my tracks and so on. Yeah. For those who are interested in how much I struggled, have a look at that video. We are now approaching Bergen. We get to the end of this island. You can either go into Bergen, or you can turn to a port and head on out a different fjord, and that is what we are doing. We are going all around the Bergen Peninsula, so yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna anchor tonight or if I'm gonna sail all the way today. We'll see. I haven't made up my mind. Taking down the sails, and we are just heading to the marina, because sometimes during the night it's going to be absolutely no wind, and that's what I'm going to try to get myself into that marina and dock about, because the wind direction that's coming is exposed, and I want to get onto the dock on the lee side of it, and it's a bit tight. So yeah, that's the plan. Then I'll spend the night in the marina and take off the sails tomorrow, and so on. So yeah, that's it for this video, I guess.